Hey gardening friends, doing a plant spotlight here on October 5th. It's in the evening, but we're getting some afternoon sun. And our plant of the day is this Heuchera. Yes, a Heuchera blooming on October 5th. Very much being loved by this bumblebee. So this is Heuchera villosa, V-I-L-L-O-S-A, Autumn Bride. And this is actually a native Heuchera. It's native to, I believe, let me find it here. I think Tennessee, Virginia to Georgia and Tennessee. It's one of its common names is hairy alum root. But I tell you, this is like one of my favorite Heucheras now. I've kind of given up on all the fancy colored ones that die out after a couple years or a mild winter when there's no snow cover. This one's been pretty tough for me. It forms this really nice mound. It's probably, it's about 2 feet across. And it has these nice green leaves that are lobed. So we have them through the summer. It's not evergreen for me, but in a warmer climate it would stay evergreen. But it does come back pretty quickly in the spring. It is hardy in zones 3 to 8. It started blooming for me, I want to say back in September. And if I had been good and cut the stems back, I probably would have even more blooms now. And as you can see, bumblebees really like it. It's a good pollinator plant, especially for later in the season when there's not so much going on. So this is in one of my shade beds. I mean, it's not deep shade. We're getting afternoon sun. It also gets morning sun. It's got an eastern exposure. It can take full sun, but if you put it in a full sun spot, you want to give it some consistent moisture. Maintenance is fairly low. Not a lot of things bother it problem-wise. I think the worst thing for Heucheras is that they can tend to heave in the winter. Their roots are kind of thick and they can get pushed out especially if we have a lot of freezing and thawing in the winter. The other thing about Heucheras that don't make them real low maintenance is that they really should be divided like every 3 to 4 years just to keep them going. So this is Autumn Bride. Even though it is a cultivar, I like it for the native garden. Oh, what else about the Heuchera? Well, we're also being serenaded by a mockingbird, so you can hear him going at it in the background. So, Heuchera villosa also has a purple foliaged version, which is appropriately purpurea, P-U-R-P-U-R-E-A. And I do have 1 or 2 of those in the garden with some other autumn brides. So let's see if we can find them. Oh, here's another bumblebee. So this is an autumn bride that I put in last year. Oh, and next to it is purpura. So a nice contrast in the foliage with the colors. And I have another one, I believe that's purpura also, with this autumn bride. And I thought I had a third autumn bride back in here, and I do, and it's behind this guy. So this one gets way more shade. I don't even see that it had too many flowers on it. So we might have to think about moving that into a little bit sunnier spot next spring. So the first one I showed you must get the most sun. This one should get quite a bit of sun. But I bet it just gets mostly the morning sun and it doesn't get too much of that afternoon sun. So the prime spot in this garden seems to be where the first one is. But if you are looking for some fall color, I mean, the foliage is nice, so you have nice mound of foliage. The purple gives you some purple contrast. And if you just need some late blooming plants for your pollinators, give one of our native Heucheras a try. Again, this is Heuchera villosa, and this is Autumn Bride, and the purple version is Purpurea. All right, have a great day.